Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle. And watch your step on the moving walkway because we're taking you park to park to prepare you for your next visit. Let's Discover Universal.
Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. I'm Carrie, and I recommend eating after Stormforce Accelatron.
And I'm David. Can I get my face painted like the Hulk at least?
You can do that.
Okay.
You can do a lot of things.
Okay.
Over at Marvel Superhero Island at Universal's Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
We are rocking it out today. We
Guys.
had so much fun. We spent the first half of our morning just playing like big kids and pretending to be superheroes.
I'm so ready for this episode.
Me too.
This is, dare I say it? I think this is my favorite land at Universal's Islands of Adventure.
Wow. All right. Big claim over there.
Big Marvel Comics fan, big fan of all the characters, and a big fan of Marvel Superhero Island at Universal's Islands of Adventure.
You know it, baby.
All my favorite rides, all my favorite stores. So much to do, so much to see. Let's do this.
Let's get into it. So like David said, this land is chock full of not 1, 2, or 3, but 4 major attractions.
It's true.
Yeah, all of them very different.
There's so much to see and do and explore and experience.
Okay, first, what is Marvel Superhero Island at Universal's Islands of Adventure for maybe someone who has no idea what we're getting into today?
Yes. So for our true believers out there,
Yes.
this is the home of all things Marvel Comics.
Yes.
So tons of superheroes, a lot of very thrilling, exciting rides.
Yeah.
We were talking before the podcast, like the Incredible Hulk coaster,
Yes.
which is at home in this land, is maybe like one of the most iconic attractions just in terms of Universal's Islands of Adventure in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
It
when you
dominates
think of that
the
park,
skyline.
That's the skyline.
Yep.
That's right next to the lighthouse outside the gate.
Yep.
You see the giant green roller coaster.
Yeah.
You kind of can't miss it.
So beautiful.
As soon as you walk in the park, you hear the Hulk roar every time the coaster comes out.
Yeah.
Like,
That's actually one of my favorite things about this land is before you see it, you hear it. The sounds
True.
are super iconic.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Hulk roar. They have the like the kind of the rock background music. It's like it's high energy. It's like percussive. You're feeling like a superhero even before you walk into the land.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
So a little placemaking. As you come into Universal's Islands of Adventure, you pass through Port of Entry. This will be the land directly to your left.
Yes.
If you're facing the lagoon.
Yes.
Again, you can't miss it. It's very bright. It's very colorful. There's a very tall roller coaster there.
Yes.
And the very tall spires of Doctor Doom's Fearfall.
Yep.
There's so much over there.
So much.
Which we will get into in this episode. But I want to give a little bit of a backstory.
Okay.
So all of the lands at Universal's Islands of Adventure have very cool backstories, but this one's one of my favorites.
Okay.
And it's something that a lot of people may not realize. when
I
they're
don't
entering
think
the
I
land.
know it.
Yes.
So allow
So-
me to discover.
We dug deep
Yeah.
into the records.
Okay.
right?
The annals of history.
And we found so the backstory of this land is that in 1999, an asteroid struck in Victory Plaza. That's what the area is called, and it opened a rift in the space-time continuum. And through the exhaustive efforts of Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange, and Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, the rift has become stable and is possible for our guests to enter the Marvel universe. So the asteroid had a very unique composition that attracted both noted scientists and high-powered corporations, which is what populates the land, which we'll talk about again, all the
Okay.
buildings and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And the island is locked in an ongoing battle between the forces of good and evil, and at any moment is capable of blasting off to another area in peril.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
I liked the way you read that.
And you know what's really cool?
What?
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. Wild.
I'll just say that after everything. Isn't it
Isn't it
crazy?
crazy?
So right in the middle, and I guess they call it Victory Plaza, but there's kind of this little courtyard there, and there's these 4, I don't know how to describe them. They're big yellow kind of
those are the, like-
rays of energy.
Yeah, they almost
right?
look like crystals kind of coming out of
Yeah.
it. It looks like a
It's the centerpiece of the land.
yeah.
And if you go
Looks
in
like
there,
an impact point.
there you go.
There you
That's the impact point of this said asteroid.
Oh.
And when you're in there, it's cool. I mean, again, so many characters, so many references, but you can see like each one of the rays has like characters on it. And it's like different eras of Marvel. So like the Golden Age, the Silver Age heroes, 90s and stuff. Oh my goodness.
You
I'm
dug
like-
deep on that.
You can tell like when I'm starting to nerd out because I start to talk really fast and then I stop breathing and I go, okay. And it's,
I do. And I love
that was us walking around
it
the land
was.
today.
It's really cool to feel like a kid again. You know, if you are a fan of these comics, I mean, I'm sure
And the characters,
we all grew up with them, and it's really cool to see them. And you're stepping inside of a comic book. Really,
For
everything
real.
is drawn. You're seeing those
colorful, larger
Yes.
than life.
Yep.
Artwork.
characters everywhere, drawn characters everywhere, and some live characters as well
That is true.
that you can meet and greet. We're going to get it.
And pose. Do
Yes.
superhero poses.
Oh,
with.
absolutely.
Where do we start?
I think we need to start at attractions because I think when
Okay.
people think
That's a fair
Marvel Superhero Island at Universal's Islands of Adventure, they think the
The
Incredible
rides.
Hulk coaster,
Yes.
they think Doctor Doom's Fearfall, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man,
My favorite.
and Stormforce Excelatron.
Mm,
We had a
which
great
we
time.
Had fun with today.
You bet we did. Woohoo!
Let's talk about the big guy first.
Let's do it.
The big green guy.
The Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk coaster.
That's the one.
starring the Hulk.
There
As
he
you
is.
said.
Yes. He's the big green
You
one.
can't miss it. Yeah, right after you come over that bridge into Marvel Superhero Island at Universal Islands of Adventure. It's right there. The entrance is to your left.
Yes.
You'll go, yeah.
Yep.
So this is a big roller coaster. There's a height requirement here. You must be at least 54 inches or taller to ride.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, little guys. There is a child swap available. Lockers are also required for ride this one. You got to empty all your pockets of all those loose articles.
That's right.
But don't you worry. Those lockers are free while you ride.
You bet they are. And the guests are coming in as volunteer test subjects.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound pleasant?
Yeah, I mean, volunteer is a strong word. You're going to be a test subject when you're waiting in the queue for this.
And you're going to go through the Hulkification process.
You're right.
That is not a technical term.
No.
But yeah, as you'll see in the Q videos, you'll see like test subjects. It's these really cool little vignettes
Yeah.
of like different test subjects, and they're exposed to the gamma radiation just like the Hulk.
Yep.
And they Hulk out and they turn into versions of the Hulk.
I love it.
So that's us when we get on the coaster.
And tons of amazing maneuvers. I mean, when
boy.
this coaster was made, it was groundbreaking at the
Oh, big
time,
time.
and like G-forces through the roof. It's a lot of fun. It's a very long coaster
Maximum
as well.
G's, 4.5 maximum G's on here. Should we tell them about the
launch?
thing?
I think
The
we need to
launch?
say the
People
launch.
know. Okay. There's no spoilers here. People know about the launch. It accelerates from 0 to 40 miles an hour in like 2 seconds.
And that's that iconic roar.
That's the roar when
And
it
you-
comes out of the tube at the beginning.
you can
What a
stand-
way to start
Oh.
a roller coaster.
It's great.
my favorite
What a
part.
way to start the land, because really
Yeah.
the entrance to the land, you stand under that launch.
You walk right underneath it,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you can watch people, and it's Hulk screams and guest screams all together.
Fair point. We were standing on the bridge,
Yeah.
and it's cool because they do a loop, and the coaster comes right under the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool like photo spot.
Very cool.
Like if you're not riding the ride, you could try to catch your friends
your
and
friends.
family as they go right under the bridge. Oh, man. A lot of inversions on this one.
Yep.
A lot of rolls, a lot of loops.
It does go upside down.
This is a wild ride.
We would be remiss without talking about your favorite attraction in all of Universal's Islands of Adventure, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man!
Oh, it's so good.
Slinging high above the streets in 3D.
It's incredible.
It is really good. This
Well,
is
it's amazing.
my favorite
The
cue
Hulk's
line.
incredible. Spider-Man's amazing.
Now you got your facts straight. Now you got it. My favorite cue line in all of all of
Really?
our parks. Yes,
It's a good one.
it's really great.
So it's cool. You're going through the offices of the Daily Bugle,
yes,
which is where Peter Parker works, Secret Identity of Spider-Man.
that's right.
And we're going through, I mean, it's like called bullpens, right? I'm looking to Michelle. She used to work in news.
Oh,
Isn't
like
that
the
what
cubicle
Isn't that what
areas?
it's called? Like the bullpens where all the reporters are working on their stories.
Yeah,
You go through like a dark room where he's like where he's developing his photos.
yeah, yeah.
Because he's a photographer. That's his
That's right.
job at the Daily Bugle.
Once again,
Footprints on the ceiling.
guests
'cause he's Spider-Man.
are touring the newspaper facility to become volunteer reporters. We have
Again,
a
there's
volunteer
that
thing.
volunteer word again. Yeah, the boss, J. Jonah Jameson,
Yeah.
the head, editor at the Daily Bugle. I don't think he was really asking us if we wanted to. He was like, "Hey,
Well,
you're going to go out there and get the scoop for me."
he's expecting you to
Yes.
to do your job. Yes, and
So
you
that's the
gotta
name of the
you gotta
vehicle.
report on recent villain activity and decide whether Spider-Man is a hero or a menace.
What do you think?
He's a hero.
He's a
Come on,
hero.
man. He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Okay, so what happens in this thing? This is a motion-based 3D dark ride.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're in this vehicle called the Scoop.
Yep.
You are going through physical environments.
Yep.
There's also some 3D elements on the screen. It's like almost seamless, like
Yep.
blending together the scenes with the story, with the characters on the screens.
And you're riding in
There's
the
stuff-
Scoop news vehicle.
There's like stuff comes out at you. You
Yes.
Splash. There's air blowing. It's so cool.
Oh, this ride, we rode it today.
Yes.
I remember riding it in the year 2001, right after Universal's Islands of Adventure was created, and it absolutely blew my mind. It was like the coolest ride ever. Like you said, combining the 3D elements and the live action elements and the pyro and the water and everything. It blew my mind. Today, it did the same thing. I remember it being so cool and thinking, I can't possibly hold up to like the vision I have of it in my mind. And it does. It's so great.
Yeah.
So great.
Shout out. These are all original attractions to 1999.
That's right.
When Universal's Islands of Adventure opened.
Yep. Some of which have gone through
They've gotten some updates.
refurbishment. Yeah.
They're amazing.
Really good.
Hey, can I name all the villains on The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man?
Can you?
I sure can.
Do it.
It's the Sinister Syndicate,
Whoa.
which is different than a common group in the comics called the Sinister Six. It's a whole thing.
You're talking
There's
fast
5
again.
of them. I know. I'm getting excited.
I know.
It's some uncommon characters as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you have Dr. Octopus,
Obviously.
big time foe
Yep.
of Spider-Man.
Love Doc Ock.
Hydra Man,
There he is.
less common.
Yep.
Scream, a very uncommon member of the symbiote family.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Distant relative of Venom.
Okay.
It's a very complicated family tree, the symbiotes. Okay. We don't have to go into all of it.
We can't.
Okay. We got Electro. Now
Yes.
we're back. He's a big one for
Big one,
Spider-Man.
for sure.
And then Hobgoblin.
What?
Hobgoblin in the ride. Not Green Goblin. Easy to confuse the two.
Wait, are you serious?
Hobgoblin. Very serious.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the Green Goblin this
No.
whole time.
Funnily enough, you can meet the Green Goblin out there on the streets.
Yeah,
but on
you
the
can.
ride, it's the Hobgoblin. They're different people, different characters.
Are they related at all? You know what? I'm not going to ask because this is going to be a 45-minute story.
Goblin wise, yes.
We just, in the sense that they both have Goblin in their
They both
name.
have Goblin in the name. They
Okay.
both fly gliders. They both throw exploding pumpkins.
Okay. Well, then, distant relatives.
Sure.
Cousins. Cannot confirm nor deny the existence of a family relationship between Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. So before we move on to the villainous other attraction next door, let's do some quick facts about the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man.
Okay. You give a fact, I'll give a quote.
Okay, I'm ready. The track is 3/4 of a mile long.
That's amazing. And this could be the most dangerous night of my life and yours. Nice shades.
You're crushing it. This is the first ever combination of moving motion-based ride vehicles, 3D film, and live action.
Oh, very cool. Trick or treat, smell my feet. Time to blow you off the street.
Killing it again. Height requirement. You have to be 40 inches or taller to experience this attraction.
And things are just starting to heat up.
But don't worry, if you are tinier, there is a child swap available.
You're taking a dive.
It's like they've experienced the attraction here.
I'm just racing through my head. I'm like, oh, what should I say? What should I say?
You crushed it. All right, we're ready to move on to this attraction next door that does feature a villain that you can meet at Marvel Superhero Island.
That's right.
Dr. Doom.
And the attraction being Dr. Doom's Fearfall.
That is correct.
Fear is
Dr.
right in the name.
Victor Von Doom.
This is a very intimidating ride.
Yeah. So intimidating that it takes a lot of courage.
It is. So the whole story of the ride is that Dr. Doom is collecting your fear
Yes.
to power his, evil machinations here. Yeah. So the whole queue line, it's like the whole queue is building the suspense,
Yeah.
and intensity, and you sit there. Honestly, the anticipation is the worst part.
We're right.
You're sitting there, you put the overhead harness down over your shoulders.
Yeah.
You're just waiting. The anticipation is building, the heart is pumping
Well, what are you waiting for?
for that thing to take off like a rocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a launch ride, and it launches you straight up just shy of 200 feet.
Wow.
Yep.
For some of the best views of
Oh,
the
my
park
gosh.
of Orlando.
Gorgeous.
If you can take it in while you're screaming.
Yeah. You travel, each of the towers is 199 feet tall. You travel approximately 150 feet.
Yeah. And so unlike, the usual drop towers that you might be used to, this one doesn't lift you up slowly and drops. It is a launch. It
Yes.
goes swoosh, straight
Yes.
up. And then you get that nice butterfly feeling in your stomach as you go right back down. And then actually, I enjoy the end part of it because then you're just kind of bouncing on your
Yes.
way down. And then it's much more pleasant.
It's great. It's lovely. You
All the way back down to the ground.
make it safely back. And then when you get off, you can look at how high you went and you're like, oh, that was a big deal. I saw everything.
You
That's
can
awesome.
brag to your friends.
Yeah.
That whole
did that.
courtyard is so cool in
Oh
there.
my gosh.
It's like, because the main area of the land is all the superheroes, and this kind of side area is a little darker, a little grittier.
Yes.
This is like kind of the villain corner over
Yes. It looks
there.
great.
It's funny, a lot of details, a lot of Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
You can see there's kind of like explosions and burn marks on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like the outlines of some of the characters, like Dr. Doom has defeated them.
Yeah.
And there's a part where we're looking at where it looks like there's like ooze coming out of the
Yeah.
building, and there's like fog blowing out and stuff. So many things. It's so cool.
Check it out. If you have some extra time, jump over there, get some really cool pictures. And there's another one of those cool Easter eggs. There's like paper boxes. You know, like
the newspaper boxes.
Yeah, that have
for the Daily Bugle.
Bugle. Boom.
We should have talked about that for the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man.
Well, why don't we do that in some of our cool like VIP tips?
That's true.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just have to put all the Easter eggs in like one category.
We'll do that.
There's a lot.
And
so, Carrie, I know how tall the ride is, but how
Yes.
tall must I be?
You must be at least 52 inches or taller
Okay.
to ride this attraction.
Another tallie.
That's right.
These are thrill rides.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's for big kids.
How about one that the whole family can enjoy?
Oh, we got you.
Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is also a good one for the family.
Yes.
But this one is also a classic family ride.
So fun. This is Storm Force Accelatron. And
What a blast.
I have to tell you, we went. It's one of those attractions that you might walk by. It's kind of
Dare we say hidden gem?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's kind of back
tucked
in the corner.
behind where the Incredible Hulk coaster entrance is.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
Enjoying this. We had 4 grown adults sitting together. So David, myself,
For
executive
very grown
producer,
adults in this
Michelle.
little Accelatron.
Yes, and our audio engineer Grayson, and we laughed like fools. We had this was.
It's one of those flat spinning rides.
Do we have audio of that?
Let's cue it up.
Let's listen to these dorks that had so much fun.
Here we go. Oh
my
We gotta
God.
spin. I should not have had the extra breath. Oh, the way fast.
No.
Don't lean back. Oh, leaning back is so much worse.
See? We had a really good time.
I don't know if it was in that clip, but Carrie, when it ended, she was like, "Was this the most fun we've ever had
Was
together
this like
on a
the
ride?"
best ride?
Just like pure joy,
So fun.
just spinning, and oh my goodness,
You can control the center.
Yeah, you like spin the disc in the center, and the faster you spin it, the faster your little vehicle goes.
And
but the
you
whole thing's
had
spinning, and
a
then we
VIP tip.
figured out that if you reverse the direction of your spin, because at first we were spinning in the same direction as the whole ride was spinning, and then midway through we stopped it and spun it the other direction.
David
and I just remember
created a
Michelle's
storm.
face like, whoa.
It was so good.
And yeah, Carrie, you recommend, what did you say in your one line? You eat after this one, right?
Eat after.
Yeah.
If you have an iron stomach, congratulations. I personally do not. I'm glad we waited to eat until after this.
I love
adventure.
the details in this one. Storm is such a cool character.
For sure.
In the queue, there's a couple little like comic book panels that tell you like what the story of the ride is. We're defeating the evil Magneto.
Yeah.
With our storm power and all the spinning and
Yeah.
everything. It's awesome.
And then you can jump over to the character meet and greet and say, "Hey, Storm, rode your attraction."
You're welcome.
And it was awesome.
It was.
Thank you for defeating Magneto.
All right. Are there height requirements on this one?
David, there is no minimum height requirement. You do need a supervising companion if you are under 48 inches. All right. We knocked through all of the attractions, but there's so much more.
There's so much
So much more.
We haven't even started talking about the gift shops or the character meet and greets or the food.
Food.
Where do you want to go next?
I think we need to take a lunch break. We need to talk about where we had lunch.
We did. All this superheroing
Yes.
built up an appetite.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
There are 2 quick service locations in this land. There are multiple kind of snack counter grab and go, all the classic,
Yeah.
theme park goodies.
Churros, pretzels. There's cotton candy, ice cream.
Ice cream, slushies.
Oh, yeah.
Appropriately, Iceman is the character next to the slushies.
Very nice. Very cool.
Love
Lemon
it.
slush.
I love it so much.
One of my favorite places is the Captain America Diner because it is sort of that all-American food menu. You got your burgers, your shakes, your fries, onion rings, apple pies,
Some chicken sandwich.
all-American apple pies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect. And that's a really great place that has all that art up on the wall. There's a really cool Easter egg of
So-
Thor throwing his hammer.
Mjolnir.
Yeah. Nice. Well said. I can't pronounce that, so I'm glad you did. Really cool art. Again, if you're fans of those Marvel comics, get on in there, even if you're not eating, and just snap some photos or just take some mental snapshots of all that really cool stuff in there.
And the other sit-down area, the quick service, is
Yeah.
Cafe 4.
Yeah.
It's modeled after the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
And that is pizza, pasta. They got some salads as well, some sandwiches. Grayson had this amazing eggplant parmesan.
Vegan eggplant parmesan.
Vegan.
Yeah.
Man.
Came with spaghetti and like
That looks
sauteed
really good.
veggies.
He didn't let me have any.
He totally let you have. You are lying because Michelle and I each took a bite, and it was yummy. It had like marinara and vegan cheese on top.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was ginormous.
The thing sized.
It was, yes, Hulk would have been full. It was great.
And that is the location of our Marvel character dinner.
Yeah. Only thing better than eating your face off is eating it and meeting some cool characters.
And Wolverine going, hey, bub, that looks good.
Ching! Eat it. Yeah, no, Marvel character dinner is great, and you can check out the show
Wolverine,
notes.
you need to borrow my fork? No, I'm good.
I'm good, man. Could you imagine if Wolverine had like a hot
Chicken
dog?
parm on his claws.
I digress. I'm sure that doesn't happen.
No.
And check the show notes for any details and more information. Oh, and I do want to mention that both Cafe 4 and Captain America Diner have mobile ordering available. So if you want to cut your wait time a little bit,
That's true.
there you go.
That's
You
like a
can mobile order.
superpower.
It kind of
I
is.
can order food without even being in the restaurant.
Kind of is.
What's your superpower? Mobile ordering.
Mobile ordering.
Boom.
Awesome. You had mentioned that you really love Marvel Superhero Island at Universal Sands of Adventure because of the cool merch.
The store.
Talk about the store.
The stores. Okay. There is a veritable bevy of merchandise options
Well said.
in this land.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a stand right outside the Incredible Hulk coaster with a
Yeah.
lot of the Hulk stuff.
Yep.
There's one which is really cool because it's actually the meet and greet location for Spider-Man.
That's the Marvel
can-
Alterniverse store.
Yeah. Very cool.
I know.
Lots of cool stuff in there. And then maybe my favorite is the one at the exit of The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. It's all the Spider-Man focused stuff.
Very cool.
I have so many memories of stuff that I've gotten from that store.
Aw.
I got to give a shout out to my Spider-Man slippers that I got. I mean, it must be like 15 years ago now, but I took them to college with me, and anytime I'd go to a party, the Spider-Man slippers would come out, and I'd just be walking around the house.
You're cool
with my
and
Spider-
comfy.
That's how they knew. They're like, David's ready to party. He's got his Spider-Man slippers on.
Got his party slippers on. Let's do it.
But I love the shirts. I love, and then the last one being the comic book store, where they actually have a wall full of comic books.
That's my favorite.
Tons of action figures, comics, shirts, toys. I
Collectibles,
mean,
signed
collectibles.
stuff.
Yeah. So in these stores, you can find comic books. You can find shirts and stuff. You
Yeah.
can find action figures. You can
Yep.
find collectibles. You can find memorabilia. It's so cool. If I had an extra room in my house just for Marvel Comics memorabilia, there's like a giant bust of Spider-Man.
Yes. Really,
like
really
a
great stuff.
life-size head of Spider-Man.
Stuff that's one of a kind. You take this home.
Extremely.
Yeah. It's super.
I just love looking around in
unique.
there. That is every year Christmas gifts to myself. I walk through those stores and I'll find something good.
As you should. Treat yourself.
Oh man, cups and mugs and
I'm a big fan of
Such
the
fun
Spirit
stuff.
jerseys.
that's true.
They are
Those
very
are somewhat
cool.
recent. Those popped up in the last year or so.
Yep, they look super comfy. We have the Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man. Those are the ones I've seen. They're cool. They look cool. They look comfy, and they're kind of a unique piece of merch. So check them out.
Man, those are cool. Anything for the comic book fan in your life, you will find something really cool in Marvel Superhero Island.
Yep.
Universal Islands of Adventure.
Now we mentioned a lot of the character meet and greets.
Mention Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In the store.
Yeah.
That's kind of his permanent location in
Right.
there. You can take photos with him. He's actually standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
So you can they can put your photo on the cover of a comic book, which looks really
Yeah.
cool.
It looks great.
But there's a bunch of other characters as well that hang out around the land that you can meet.
I got to tell you, there's a moment when the characters are coming out. There's an announcement
That's true.
that gets made. They're letting you know.
There's all sorts of background music happening in the
Yep.
land, but every once in a while, an announcement will pop up.
Yes. And you see these characters, these absolute legendary rock star superheroes
Ripped from the page.
just marching down the street. And you're like, it's Storm. Like
It's Captain America.
It's like really,
We saw Wolverine.
it's a moment. And sometimes they enter
Rogue.
on a motorcade,
That is true.
which is also very cool.
Mm.
If you're lucky enough to see that, that's great. You can meet Wolverine, Captain America, Spider-Man, Storm, Rogue, and Cyclops.
Cyclops.
And two
And
villains,
Two villains as well.
Doctor Doom and Green Goblin.
They're not out when the superheroes are out.
Well, they couldn't be.
Obviously.
Yeah, we can't
There'd be battles in the streets.
be having that.
But I hear they're very mischievous.
Very.
If you meet with them, you better be ready.
Get ready. We mentioned that some of the characters hang out at Marvel Character Dinner. So if you
Yes.
make that reservation, you can hang out with them. But there's also you can put your skills to the test at the Kingpin's Arcade.
That is true.
Cool prizes
Very
in
cool
there.
arcade in there.
Yep. I love the way it's designed. It kind of looks like Doctor Doom's lair or something.
Lair,
yeah,
yes.
it's like there's cracks and there's great big holes in the wall. Like it looks like a battle.
It's like his
ensued.
mask is everywhere.
Yeah. Really cool stuff.
The kingdom of Latveria.
David, we
All
talked
the villains.
about the rides. We talked about the cool stuff you can buy.
Yeah.
We talked about the cool stuff you can eat. Cool stuff you can do. Any other cool stuff or VIP
I want to talk
tips?
about all the cool stuff you can see.
Amazing. Check it out.
So we have kind of mentioned it. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
If you're a big fan of the comics, you will find we're talking deep cuts.
Yep.
Of some of these characters.
Today I was like,
yeah.
who is that?
We
and
were
you're like,
going
oh, that's
in-
from the blah, 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 blah.
So especially as you're walking just through the main thoroughfare, there's the huge like building size kind of artwork of all these characters. So just from an appreciation standpoint, beautiful. Artwork all over the place. There are names on all the buildings. You're like, oh, that's Daredevil. Or that's that character. That's this.
Yep.
Yancey Street is the little side street where Dr. Doom's Fearfall is.
There you go.
That's famously the street where the Thing lives. Just all this stuff. But then if you go inside the building, so we were inside Cafe 4, we were inside Captain America Diner, and like Carrie was saying, there's these murals and there's like these wall panels and so many characters. And again, some of the, like I was trying to look up some of these characters, like, who is that?
Yeah.
Who is this guy? And it's just so cool.
But like, because there's been so many iterations of these characters,
Of
when
course.
it dawns on you what that character is
Yeah.
from like their original artwork, you're like, oh, obviously.
Yeah.
So good.
And it's very cool. Like we were talking that first thing, what we started talking about, where that asteroid hit and the big rays of energy coming up. Each panel being like a different era of the characters, and kind of seeing how the characters have evolved and how the universe has grown. You know, how the comics have evolved. And there's so many characters now. And
I will say, I think one of my favorite places is on the water. So
Yes.
in the back of the Captain America
Big fan,
Diner,
yeah.
there's outside seating that like you can look across the entire lagoon at Universal's Islands of Adventure and check out all the other lands. It's just a really, really beautiful place if you just want to hang out for some
take it
calm,
in.
serene, take a break from your superheroing, and just sit and enjoy. It's really beautiful.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good call.
I know. Great. Hey, did we do it all?
Boy, we covered a lot.
I think we did. Listen, here's the point. Next time you're at Universal's Islands of Adventure, if it were me, I would carve out a significant chunk of your day to enjoy Marvel Superhero Island because there is so much to do, so much to see. You're definitely going to want to hit all 4 of those attractions. Check always on our official Universal Orlando app. They're going to give you the wait times. They're going to give you all kinds of information, menus, mobile ordering galore. It's going to be your best friend that day, and really just immerse yourself in Marvel Superhero Island because it's totally worth it.
Totally.
David, since you are,
I'm not ready to stop talking about superheroes.
I can tell. I was going to say, since you are a comic book aficionado,
I was nerding out the whole time. I
Yes.
was pointing out stuff the whole
you
time.
were
Let's see how
you were
well.
annoying your friends with all the facts. No,
And
it
you
wasn't. It was
can
great.
too when you go to the.
I think. Well, I'm saying I learned a lot from you today.
Okay.
So why don't you quiz me and
Let's
see?
check your retention.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's do this. Woo! I was born for this.
I mean, we ate at Cafe 4.
Yes.
Do you remember what is the name of the superhero team that Cafe 4 is named for?
That's the Fantastic Four.
Very good. Do you know the characters on the team?
The
Who are the Fantastic Four?
stretchy guy. The
Mr. Fantastic, good.
blocky brick guy.
The Thing, good.
Yep. The fire guy.
Human Torch, very nice.
And the disappearing girl.
Invisible Woman, very good. Nice.
Nailed it.
Totally nailed it.
Thanks.
I know you remember what the name of the building was, though.
Because I asked the Baxter Annex.
Yes, it's based off the Baxter Building, which is the building that were in the comics. But obviously here at Marvel Superhero Island, we didn't build the whole Baxter Building. It's an annex.
Just the
It's the
annex.
Baxter Annex.
It's great.
Yeah, very cool. Good
Yeah.
job.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay. Do you know the name of the team that characters such as Wolverine, Cyclops, Rogue, and Storm are a part of?
Yes, that would be the X-Men.
Boom! I'm proud of you. That was a good one.
I wasn't sure if I should say mutants or X-Men.
That both be correct.
Okay.
They are mutants. Yes.
I got so nervous.
Okay. Do you remember
No.
which character was appropriately depicted over the restrooms?
Oh, yes, it was Namor.
Namor.
Yes, because he's the water guy.
water guy.
That's actually very funny.
Over the water closets.
So good.
I guess.
Yes.
I don't know how he would feel about that. He's a very prideful character.
You're right. You're true. Yeah. We were talking about
let's
him
see.
today. Yeah.
Do you remember which character was fighting with MODOK? It was above the diner.
Above the diner.
MODOK is the big floating head, the little yellow chair.
Was it Rogue?
No, that was that was over the building where Spider-Man meets.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. He was throwing something.
Thor.
Oh, it was not a hammer that he was throwing.
I don't know this one. Who's
Captain America?
Of course
it's
he
right
was.
over the Captain America diner. He's throwing his shield,
That was good.
hitting MODOK.
That's a good, and that's a really cool thing because you can meet Captain
Yeah.
America. He's got a shield, it's vibranium. It's all cool. Yeah.
Let's see. One of the buildings said Dr. Donald Blake.
Oh yeah.
Do you know that is the secret identity of which character?
Thor.
Good job.
You
Nicely
told me that.
done.
You told me that.
Nice.
I said, "Who's that?" And it says MD. Is he a doctor?
that was his his secret identity. Yeah, he
Very
was a
cool.
doctor.
I
This
did
is
not
way,
know that.
way back in the comics.
Wow.
He had like a walking stick, and when he would hit the walking stick on the ground, it was secretly his hammer. It was transformed. It was a whole thing.
Thor's a tricky one.
He's cool. Yeah.
I love it. Ooh, I'm doing better than I
You're
thought.
doing very well.
Do you have one more question? I want to
Trying
end
to
with
think
a good
of a
one.
good one.
Okay.
Oh, can you describe, just in general terms, what is Dr. Octopus and the Sinister Syndicates? What is their evil plan on the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man? What are they trying to do?
They are trying to dismantle and take the Statue of Liberty out
It's
of New
true.
York, right? That's like
Using what device? What is he doing?
power.
His levitation
Oh,
ray.
levitation!
That's why we're
Levitation
flying.
power. That is one of my favorite parts, like the live action moments.
It's cool.
Because like the head of the Statue of Liberty. I don't want to give too much away.
You go like under the tablet she's holding, I think, at one point.
Her whole head and crown is there, and you're like, oh, don't do that.
And the whole levitation thing leads to one of the coolest practical ride effects
Yes.
where you feel like you're flying.
Yes, you do.
I won't give it too much away. I won't say how it's done, but there's the part of the ride where you are flying, and boy, does it really feel like you're flying.
And you are very thankful for the thwip
It's so
at that
cool.
point.
Oh, Spider-Man's little flip
That's right.
for the rescue.
Hey, I did pretty good.
You did very well.
Wow, I'm proud of myself.
You did
I'm
very,
nowhere
very
near
well.
your level of retention, but I did my
Listen,
best.
we scratched the surface.
Nice.
Of what
Hey, let's see.
did they remember?
Why don't we talk about what we remember about this episode with a little Take 5 Rewind?
Number 1, Marvel Superhero Island at Universal's Islands of Adventure is a highly immersive themed land with those 4 original awesome attractions, the Incredible Hulk Coaster and Doctor Doom's Fearfall, which super high thrill, and then the more family-friendly Stormforce Accelatron and the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Definitely check the show notes for all those height requirements and other information about those awesome rides. Oh, and don't forget to use the official Universal Orlando mobile app for your own superpower, the ability to know wait times on the rides without being next to them.
Number 2, there are tons of food options. So if you are hungry, this is a great place to hang out. Make your way over to Cafe 4 for some Italian-style food. Captain America Diner for sort of a more all-American menu. There's cotton candy, ice cream, lemon slush, other treats like pretzels. And chips and hot dogs and candy and sodas and water and juice. There's a lot going on over there. Again, check that official Universal Orlando app to mobile order from Cafe 4 and Captain America Diner. Super easy. You order it through the app, then you scan the table number you're at, and they will bring the food to you. So yes, it is quick service, but it also has sort of a table service element. They're going to bring that food to you. Super easy.
Number 3, don't miss the character meet and greets with superheroes and villains that take place throughout the land. Take those awesome pictures, get your autographs, take those awesome poses, while you're taking the pictures. While you're there, just check those meet and greet locations for the schedule of when those heroes and villains will appear. We saw some kids dressed as Spider-Man meeting him. It's so
cute.
cool.
It really
It
is.
is so awesome for the little superhero fans, young and old, I will say.
For sure.
All right.
I'm sure you wouldn't miss an opportunity to dress up like Spider-Man.
I would not.
Number 4, like David mentioned, tons of merchandise. If you are wanting to see the comic books and purchase the comic books that this land is based upon, you can do that at the comic book shop. There's collectibles, there's memorabilia, there's sign stuff, there's unique, colorful designs, there's apparel, accessories. You can even grab some character costumes as well.
And number 5, check out all the incredible details that are really throughout this land. Every corner you look. I mean, we didn't even mention a cameo of a certain creator on The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I think what I would do if I was there with some of my comic book loving friends, we were kind of like playing a game where you can like see if you can name all the characters in the murals. And there's tons of photo ops, Easter egg references to like some deep cut heroes and villains, and just tons of ways to get involved in the action and live those superhero dreams.
It's what we did today.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm being more of a villain right now, honestly.
You are.
I love it.
Just in life.
Sinister. See, you can live your superhero and villain dreams.
Yes, your super villain dreams.
Fabulous. Hey, we had a great time today. Thank you so much for
blast.
going on this Marvel Superhero Island journey with us.
Thanks for letting me nerd out.
Yeah.
What a great day.
It was great. Nice work. Shout out to my co-host, David. Shout out to Grayson, audio engineer, and our executive producer, Michelle. Thank you to all of our listeners. We will see you on the next installment of Discover Universal. Did you love this episode? Leave us a review and don't forget to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Want to learn more about Universal destinations and experiences? Head to our show notes for more information, including the Discover Universal blog with links to articles, videos, and this podcast.